guys, what's up? Today we are talking why majority of us are unhealthy, overweight, dying early, poor quality of life.
Right.
The list just continues. So, Cordell, what's going wrong? Where are we going wrong?
Speaking of unhealthy, how's your Halloween? You got any candy?
No,
Okay.
Zero candy. But my daughter here was for 4 days. I had candy 4 days before that. But that's the beauty. And I tend to think about this. When you've got a mindset, you got tools in your tool belt. If you splurge for a couple of days, the ability to pull it back and balance it back out is huge.
Right.
And I feel like that comes from experience and fluctuating your weight and trying different things, trying different diets. So for instance, I'm fasting at the moment. I'm doing 1 meal a day. I'm doing low carbs. So after having those 3-4 days of having some ice cream and some snacks, by using all those tools together, I'm able to bring it back very quickly.
No percussion.
As you know.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So that being huge.
Yeah.
And it's funny, I saw a video the other day and it was Woodstock. Have you seen it on Netflix? It's the first Woodstock.
Oh, the actual Woodstock.
And there's 400 to 500,000 people at this Woodstock. Not one single person was overweight.
Oh, shit.
Not one person. And you keep seeing those pictures on California and the beach in the 70s.
Right.
No one's overweight.
Right.
And now 67% of us are overweight or obese.
Obese, yeah.
It's insane.
How's that? Yeah.
So what's going on?
Yeah.
It's
like, where do we start with that? Yeah. I think it's, we know marketing is a big thing that's been going on regarding what, how things are marketed, body positivity, the fact that we had the pandemic. It's a good excuse, the fact that, the pandemic actually had a big toll on us regarding our mental health. Why people were having to just sit on their butt, choosing to sit on their butt and order Uber Eats and get things delivered to them as well. Gyms are closed though. That's a fair excuse. Gyms are closed, so things actually, were kind of stagnant for those who worked out. Those who actually are health experts as well, that kind of was at a standstill as well because they couldn't get to their jobs as well. But that was a while ago. Here we are now.
And it's a big boredom thing too.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people eat just for sheer boredom.
That too, yeah.
And I know in the past I've been eating. Am I eating because I'm hungry? Or actually, I saw someone on TikTok, and it was like the average American eats, I think it's 21 times a day.
Oh, shit.
So it's not 21 meals. It's 21 times you put
grazing,
something different to your mouth.
Grazing.
So meaning you could snack on an apple now, and then 10 minutes time you got a bag of chips, and then 20 minutes time you have a bowl of cereal.
The average
is 21 times.
Interesting.
And you think about that.
Yeah.
And your insulin's in spike 21 times, you're storing fat.
Yeah.
It's high sugars.
That's insane.
It's crazy, right? And then when you fast like you and I do, and you get down to even 1 to 3 meals a day, and you're having good food, you can see why the health difference is significant.
That's the thing, yeah. That's one thing we can kind of maybe have a base is the eating habits. Why majority of us are unhealthy and out of shape and don't eat right is the grazing. It's over, like you said, 70s. In the 70s, you probably ate maybe like 3, maybe
breakfast,
4.
Lunch, I wouldn't even say 4.
Holiday times, maybe someone might have had lunch a day.
It was pretty stable meals.
That's the thing, because why eat more than 3 times a day? That's what you do: breakfast, lunch, dinner. Like, why eat after that?
It wasn't encouraged. It wasn't marketed.
And
that's probably a big marketing thing too, right? Hey, we get people to eat more. We can sell more products.
Yeah,
we make more money.
That's what I said first is the marketing, because people. Because the thing about it, we know you have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. There's nothing saying breakfast snack, dinner snack, midnight snack, it's just, but then you have the marketing encourage, especially nowadays, you have fast food 24 hours a day. You have all these different things that encourage you to have snacks, encourage you to have, different things here and there. But we all know in our head that we will get fat if we eat more than we need to eat, but we still eat more than we need to eat. And then we get fat.
Monkey see, monkey do. If everyone does it,
and then it's like,
acceptable.
Well, it's on TV. Well, it takes, and then we have the way things are made. The 70s, how foods are made to where things are made now to where things are made to be more
the
addicting.
Fact of the cooked at home opposed to boiled being a huge one.
That's huge.
Probably being the biggest one.
That's huge. Yeah, they had maybe like 1 McDonald's, and that was maybe special occasions. People ate out special occasions. Now it's like a daily thing for us.
Daily or multiple daily things, right?
It's just really unreal. That's wild.
And what's happening is everyone does it around us. It becomes acceptable. It's what we talk about. It's what we do. And to break the norm, now you become weird.
Yeah.
So me fasting as long as I do, I'm the outsider now.
Why? Why are you doing that?
I'm the weird person.
Yeah.
I don't have breakfast. Breakfast is my most important meal of the day.
Right.
You're supposed to have breakfast.
Exactly.
The marketing went into milk for like, what was it, 20, 30 years? They tried to convince you milk was good for you.
That's right.
Like the money and the time went into trying to sell you milk. And when you break that stigma, you stand out and you're weird. And it's weird to eat healthy. It's weird to make those conscious decisions. Yeah. It's weird not to fit in that norm. Yeah. And therefore, if you haven't got a strong mindset or you haven't got a strong reason why or a strong like belief, you're going to fall into the trap with everybody else. Yeah. And once you're in, it's so hard to get out.
The thing with the milk thing you say too, like it starts at a young age with the milk. Do you realize that a lot of cereals like Tony the Tiger and those guys that do the rescue treats, those the elves, the cereals,
Stuff Crackle Pop.
Yeah, right? Those guys. Yeah, Tony the Tiger, because of that already. Captain Crunch. A lot of the characters' eyes they're pointing down, and a lot of the kids are short. So when they're seeing the cereal, the kids are seeing the character look at them. And what I'm getting at is like when you break fast at breakfast. You're taught at an early age to have breakfast, and to have sugary cereal filled with milk, which is more sugar, more lactose, more dairy, and to have that all the time. And so what I'm getting at is at an early age nowadays is you're having these sugary cereals, and you're getting that addiction to having those corn syrups and corn sugars that you're craving and you're addicted to, and all the different MSGs, all the different sweeteners, and you're having all these things from adolescence to preteen, teenager to an adult. And by the time you're at the age to where you're like, oh crap, I'm out of shape, you have the insulin resistance to where if you even try to get in shape, you're wondering why you can't lose the weight, because your body is so resistant to actually the carbs.
And it's a lifelong habit too.
And you're not going to fast.
Yeah.
Because you're going to starve yourself then. Fasting is starving.
It's literally a lifelong habit. It's been marketed to you from the age you're born.
Doctors aren't going to tell you to fast at all. They're going to tell you to maybe eat healthier, maybe don't cut your carbs at all. It's just it's like a vicious cycle as well. And then we have the marketing. We have the fast food. You're an adult now too, so your job is not to focus on getting healthy. Your job is to take care of business. You have your mortgage, maybe you have your car to take care of, your gas, your wife, your kids.
Lack of time.
Lack of time. You're pulling your hair out because you have so much going on, and you have to worry about the gym. It's like you don't have time for that at all. So it's a vicious cycle.
And then most of us aren't accountable for anything in our own lives
at all.
If we're broke, it's someone else's fault. If we're overweight, it's someone else's fault.
Yeah, too.
If this happened, it's someone else's fault, because it's easier to point the finger, make excuses, and blame other things and people. And what I realized, and it's probably the best thing I ever did, as soon as I started taking accountability for my own life and everything in it, my life changed.
That's one thing. We are sheep in a sense of, he's out of shape, so I can be out of shape. She's out of shape, so I can be out of shape.
And that goes to your environment and your friends too, right? Because all your friends are overweight and out of shape. What's going to make you step up and be that different person?
Be an outsider.
And be the outsider, and be the weird one, and lose your friends, and have them talk behind your back.
And that's how it goes.
It's very unlikely a obese friend is going to pat you on the back and push you on your health journey.
Right.
She's going to be like, let's go out for dinner. Sorry, I didn't mean to say she or he.
Yeah.
Let's go out for dinner. Let's go let's have a beer with the boys. Right. It's not going to be let's go to the gym.
That's normalcy. Majority of us in this country are out of shape, and we acknowledge it, and we don't have any kind of accountability, but we just live with it. We roll with it on a daily basis. And when something happens to where we get diabetes or a heart attack or stroke, we want to then try and get in shape, and that's usually when it's too late.
Yeah, as well. And like we've talked on before, is you put up with little things on a daily basis. Nickeling joints because they're inflamed, or
that's true.
Addiction, like you might have like a headache, addiction to caffeine, or you could have sugar cravings, or whatever it is, or you get some type of gastro problem on a daily basis, and you think that's the norm. But it's because you've eaten crap for so long, it's become the norm, and it doesn't need to be like that. And does it escalate or does it slow down? It just gets worse, and more things pop up as you get bigger and as you get older.
Until it's too
late. Us being like you in your mid-30s, me in my 40s, it doesn't get any easier. It gets harder.
I think a lot of us, we acknowledge it, but we ignore it. we don't accept it. We don't adhere to it. It's so much easier. And then
it's easier at first.
Yeah. That's
true. It will come
first.
back and bite you in the butt hard.
Yeah. We put it off until it's too late. And we're like, oh crap, I shouldn't have put that off. But
or it will kill you.
Well, you did. Yeah.
Yeah. It will literally kill you.
And the sad thing about it is a lot of us have family that we take care of and that depend on us. And it happens to the point where, maybe one of us, lose our lives, and we have, family that we're taking care of, and then they suffer as well from that as well.
Yeah.
So it gets very vicious, but the fact that majority of us are, overweight now, it's very, very scary to think about what this country's going to happen. Who knows, in the next 5 years or 10 years is going to be even worse.
It worries me a lot, right?
Yeah.
Like America, greatest country in the world, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know how you can sustain that with everybody getting unhealthy, everyone dying early.
Right.
I started thinking of the military. The military struggles to get people in the military. Never like special forces and high-end people because everyone wants to be a YouTuber. Yeah. Everyone wants to sit, eat potato chips, play YouTube, not go to war and worry to get shot at. Yeah, and I don't blame them.
Yeah. Yeah. You laugh at it or you kind of just scratch your head, but it's the sad truth. If you look back like 50 years ago, you would never think that this would be this country that you're talking about.
Right? Yeah.
You would never think this is the case,
And it's nothing about health. It's all about money.
Yeah.
It's all about capitalism. It's all about the control.
Right.
It's got nothing to do with like, let's get people healthier to change this country.
Right.
And that's, I guess that's the thing that really worries me is I don't know how it's ever going to change. I don't know. Even if you could just keep it, if you could just stop it, the country's still going to get shit. No, but I don't know how you could even stop it, never mind reverse it. And it's escalating faster and faster and faster. Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah, health experts, the people that I know that are health experts, they're scratching their head too. They have no clue what what's they're worried for the next 5-10 years how much worse it's going to be. From how
I don't know how much worse it could get, to be honest. And I hate saying that out loud because I don't want to be proven wrong. But I mean, both being fathers, having kids, like seeing what the average, like our kids, like 8, 9, the average kid our age and consumes their body weight in sugar per year. I think my daughter's like 35, 40 pounds. Yeah. That's what she consumes in sugar per year.
That's nuts, right?
That's nuts. That's going to be a 40-pound bag of sugar and I'm just going to eat that.
Think about that every year.
That's insane. Yeah. And I'm sure adults are doing the same thing, if not more, right?
Probably more, yeah.
That's so crazy.
Yeah. And we understand that, hey, that Snickers, that ice cream, that Kit Kat is not healthy for me, but I'm going to eat it anyway.
And that's what I know, especially like for kids. I'm like, oh, it's a little thing here, it's a little thing there. But then when you add up the whole day, I'm like, damn, that's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
You ever notice that?
Yeah.
Like, it's just...
There's so many tools that we can use to hold us accountable, and we still ignore it still.
Yeah. And it's like, that coffee in the morning, I just had just 2 things of sugar. And then for my breakfast, I had this. And it's just... You can see where it happens, but no one really stops and reflects and is honest with themselves.
It's an addiction.
And it's delicious. Yeah. Breakfast cereal is delicious. I love cereal. I can eat that every day, but I choose to not because I know the consequence.
You said it's more due to the cigarettes. Is it? You said sugar is X amount?
Yeah, I think it's the dopamine, isn't it? Is that what cocaine gives you?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Is it the dopamine? Yeah, cocaine is sugar. To my knowledge, the equal amount of. Is it dopamine or is it?
Dopamine.
Yeah, it's that dopamine release. It's that good feeling that sugar gives you. That same thing cocaine does. That's insane.
That makes a lot of sense.
That's nuts, right?
Yeah. Which is why kids love it, and then they love it into teen and adulthood, and never goes away.
And you and I love it. We're not going to lie. We're not superhuman.
Yeah, it's a good drug for me, but I have control over it.
It's just it can you have control over it? Yes or no? And it seems like most of us do not have control over it.
That's usually our drug of choice as adults, And the thing about it is, like a lot of drugs, you don't have control over it. If you don't have control over it, that's a big red flag. You're going to be down, short-lived.
Well, most drugs are regulated, right? Or they're hard to get. If you're trying to get cocaine, it's probably a lot harder to get than it is sugar. Yeah, I would hope so. I know for me, it probably would be.
Yeah, right.
So I mean, it's something you can just go to the shops and get as much as you want at an affordable price, and there's no one looking down at you if you have it. Yeah. Just you go get any type of drug and you do that, people are going to look at you completely different, and people are going to try to help you.
Yeah. Yeah,
but if you start eating bullshit,
that's so funny too. Yeah, they help you out. Yeah, you need to stop doing that. Cocaine, heroin,
whatever, even alcohol.
Yeah, I was gonna
cigarettes.
Say, cigarettes, alcohol, caffeine, and food. Those are the 2 drugs that people don't really frown upon. They just
it's acceptable in society because everybody does it.
Coffee is a drug, by the way, guys, and it's so heavily used and abused and marketed that it's not going anywhere anytime soon. But the effects on caffeine is pretty detrimental if you actually look into it and actually acknowledge, because then you're combining caffeine and sugar
together, right? Yeah,
and then you're doing it all the time with your food, and it's very detrimental. But it's a drug that is legal, and you can start at an early age. Kids can get caffeine and they go crazy over it, and it's in everything. Supplements are caffeine based, and so it's a drug though.
Look, you said if you start eating sugar as a 1-year-old and you become addicted as a 1-year-old, by the time you're 10 or 20 or 30, you're addicted to it. You've been doing it for such a long time.
Right.
And like for me, like my mom was pretty strict on what we ate to the best of her ability and the best of her knowledge. And some stuff that she fed me wasn't as good as she thought it was, but she was doing the best with the tools she had. But for me, it's when I came into lifting and having a reason to get leaner and eat cleaner is where I did my own self-education. That's what allowed me to step out of that. But for most people, they're not ever going to go that route.
Yeah.
What you and I have done is very rare.
That's the thing. It's getting even smaller now, I think, too.
Yeah, and if you're not looking at taking your shirt off and getting abs or even as a female, like, why are you ever going to do that?
Right, that's the thing.
You're probably never going to do that, right?
Yeah, not encouraged.
So how do you ever break that?
Yeah, you said before, people in your circle, if everyone around you is eating and drinking and fast food, and you want to get in shape, they're typically not gonna encourage you. They're gonna treat you as an outsider, and it's gonna discourage you, and your mental health is gonna be affected to where you feel stupid doing it, or even feel stupid even asking, "Hey, I want to get in shape." What do you want to get in shape for? It's dumb. Like, what? You're fine. You're fine the way you are.
You're fine the way you are.
Yeah, until you stroke out. But that's just very, very unreal.
Yeah, so I don't know. That's why I think people are overweight. Yeah. What we do about it, I have no idea. I wish I could tell you something. I don't know where to begin. Yeah. I think it's just like self-accountability.
Yeah, I think the main thing is we acknowledge that is not healthy. Like I said, the key word is it's you have to realize. I think a lot of us don't really realize that we are addicted to food.
Stop and reflect.
We'll laugh at I can stop anytime, but I'm not going to.
Can you really?
Yeah, but you're not going to. It's like you see Krispy Kremes, the red light's on, which the light, if you're not a fan of that or know what it is, when that light's on, it means the donuts are fresh.
Okay. I do like my crispy.
I saw a commercial, but yeah. Krispy Kreme, but most people cannot go without having their favorite snack or their favorite burger or their favorite fries or that stuff. But it's like a drug. It's like, oh, I need that, and then you have that's what I was going to get at too. Have you ever had a kid? This is a random, but it correlates to this. There's always at least one kid that's always in school whose parents are actually they're aware and they acknowledge that fast food and processed foods are not healthy at all for their kids, and they can start at a young age eating that food and they become addicted. So there's always that one, which is like you said, outsider, that one oddball who brings his or her lunch to school. They have carrots, they have celery, they have grapes, they have apples. That's their drug of choice, that's their fruit. And they never have fries, they never have candy. Oh, Timmy can't have cake at all. His mom said he can't have it, so he or she grows up the entire time. I've had like 5 clients who have never had corn syrup, corn sugar, burgers, fries. And they said they had like the worst time growing up.
Well, did they get bullied and stuff?
Yeah, because of
that.
Exactly. And now,
which is nuts.
But look at them now. Now they're like, they're holistic health experts, or they're just, healthy as a lamb, and they're, saying they actually don't regret what they went through now, because now that's actually that now you're an outsider, but it's actually a positive thing that if you're actually, able to not eat that kind of stuff or drink that kind of
That's
stuff.
interesting. And even like me, 42, I turned 43 in a month. That's crazy. But I for the last 20 years, I've made good decisions on a consistent basis, on a balance where it's probably 85% of the time, it has been good decisions opposed to bad decisions.
Right.
And now coming into 43 and the way I feel, the way I look, I'm so thankful for those decisions. Because I look around people at school, if I look around people I know the same age, I'm like, oh my God, that could be me.
Don't notice them. Yeah.
That could have been me. I could be the exact same person. And even at your age, I'm sure it's exactly the same.
Yeah. Starting now, late 20s, early 20s, honestly, people are just taking a turn for the worst.
Yeah, and when you compare people at the same age you or people from growing up, like they had the same tools that you had.
That's true.
It's just those little decisions that made each and every day to go one direction or the other. Mm-hmm. And by doing so, I plan to live a long, healthy, high quality of life. Mm-hmm. Hopefully for a lot longer than a lot of other people.
Would you say you had like a circle of encouragement to keep you on track or at least put you in the right direction? Or would you say
for me, I found a deeper reason for myself.
And that's something that most people...
It's always been for myself. Yeah. I've never done it. I've never given in to peer pressure. I've never cared what anyone else thinks for the most part. Mm-hmm. The older I get, the less I care about other people's opinions, to a point where I can honestly say I just don't give a shit anymore. And
that's a small percent of us though.
Yeah, and that just takes a lot of... That takes a lot of reading, a lot of everything.
And to keep on doing that through your 20s and 30s and 40s, it's
50s and 60s. Yeah, and just finding that deeper reason and doing it for myself and trying to be the person who leads by example to motivate others, opposed to waiting for someone else to lift me up, encourage me. And you're more of a leader too. Lead by example opposed to wait for someone like, hey, Brendan, I really help you.
Exactly.
Because they're not coming. No one's knocking on your door to give you money or give you help. It could be a long while.
Exactly.
So guys, you got to be accountable for yourself. Be an adult. Be accountable. Do your education. If you need to change your friends, change your friends. But your health is your wealth, and that's full stop.
Yeah. Period.